Alright, fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and so tonight, technically when I upload this, it'll be a few hours earlier. Well, I begin the Legendary Gauntlet, and so I decided to put together 10 free-to-play teams, which I might put a timestamp on screen or whatever to skip to the team section. I'm very tired right now, and this is very, very late, so I'm actually trying pretty hard to rush through this and get this recording done, so I can have this up in time. But anyway, these are the 10 teams that I got done. These are completely, quote-unquote, free-to-play teams, all general pool and non-limited characters. I think probably the most difficult to obtain character, I guess, would be obviously the general pool units like Kiawe, Gordy, Bertha, whoever else, right? But also maybe the BP units, the specific dupe levels in them and whatnot. But whatever. I wanted to go over each team a little bit before this started. This might end up being like 10 minutes long, I don't know, but I wanted to at least give a little bit of clarity because I don't plan to record over every single video just because I don't think it's necessary. Anyway, these are all minimalist teams. I used no gear for any of these teams, so any stats that I may have from like 6-star EX or extra stuff or whatever, right? You can obviously make up for by actually using gear, and of course these are a minimalist grid, so you can of course make up for it by picking up better nodes in the grid and whatnot, right? Like in Olivia's case here, instead of picking up just inertia, you could pick up Sand Blast or Surging Sand. All that would make it easier, right? I'm just trying to be at least as free to play as possible, at least to an extent where I'm not dying constantly to get like god level RNG. Anyway, whatever. So we'll be going over each of these setups. So the first one here was Acerola, Olivia, and Skyla versus Moltres. The setup was extremely simple, extremely easy. You're basically just spamming Olivia's Stone Edge, using her as the nuke as well. My Skyla is 6-star EX, but I never actually used her sync move in the battle, so the stats again can be made up for by gear. And again, if your 6 Skyla is EX, then of course using her sync move first will be better for that support EX bonus. She's got potion stuff, which I think is pretty much necessary. Training with NPR for defense and speed buffs are very, very good as well, very helpful. Olivia has inertia, of course. This is her main multiplier. Sand Shelter to protect from sand damage, because Acerola is, of course, going to be setting sand. It's basically just a flinch spam, right? We're getting the damage from Olivia. We're flinching Moltres constantly with Acerola, and Skyla's there to cover, defenses, gauge, and also any healing for if Moltres lets any attacks through. Very simple team, and again, the grids and whatnot will be shown afterwards. I forget what the lucky skills are for this team, but I tried to make generally the lucky skills as useless as possible. Pretty sure Acerola, Olivia, and Skyla's skills were all non-impactful, so of course having Vigilance on Skyla, Critical Strike on Olivia, all that stuff, it would be more effective. Anyway, next setup, we got Ghetsis, Clement, and BP, Clement, and Cheryl. Obviously, again, BP, Clement, you do need 3 out of 5 for the full grid here. Train with NPR plus Screech Charging Infliction. I actually had Cheryl as the tank in this battle, and that was not intentional at all. Clement would be a better tank because Cheryl can't take physical attacks very well. That was a complete mistake, but I ended up winning with it, so I just went with it, right? If you do have Ghetsis' EX, this does make it easier. My Ghetsis is EX, and I can't really take that back, so in order to try and make up for that, I didn't pick up any sync nodes. You can try and make up for, Ghetsis having the EX by actually picking up the sync nodes, and the difference should actually be just about the same, I would say. Noble Roll Double Drop, Pecking Order, maxing out Ghetsis' nuke is pretty crucial, right? You want to get the debuffs on Latias to deal with its fluid fortification and whatnot. Again, with VP Clement, Screech Charging Infliction is here just because, obviously, Gauge is not great with this team. Even with Cheryl's speed buffs of the team with Team Fast Track and X Special Attack Pep Rally, having Screech Charging Infliction really does help out a lot because Ghetsis is so slow. So keep that in mind. And again, the debuffs with Screech also do help quite a bit, so that's another reason to use Clement. He also buffs Accuracy, so you don't have to deal with Latias' evasion antics, so that's one big thing there as well. So I'd say all this stuff's pretty crucial. The training with NPR for healing as well with Cheryl is very, very nice. But mostly reset until you can get that healing, or at least enough healing to be able to win, right? Focus nuking with Ghetsis on Latias. Maybe try nuking the sides first just to get rid of them, right? Debuff them, nuke them, whatever, but whatever ends up working for you. Again, can be made better work by getting Sharp Entry with Ghetsis if you have his Grid Expansion, Glaciate, Gauge Refresh 9, getting the Sync nodes, Overpower will help as well. All of that good stuff. My Ghetsis was working with +2 crit the entire battle. This setup was extremely easy as well. My blue is EX, but again, you can make up the difference in gear because there's not even multiple enemies when facing Bulu, so the EX literally doesn't matter. So again, it's just the stats, which you can make up for again with gear. He's got a very good nuke. You know, you're basically... I ended up getting enough NPRs on his trainer move to be able to get the +6 evasion. So I was going to be able to just fully abuse that at the end of the battle, you know, in case any of these guys were to go down. So, hey, cool. Also, my Roxanne's not EX'd. I don't know why it's like this. My Roxanne is not EX'd. Whatever. I just end up using Blue's Sync Nuke the whole time, maxing out a Sync Nuke with Brain, Sync, and Sync Power Flux. Does require, of course, a 3 to 5 Blue. Train with Ramp Up for max special attack. Train with NPR for max crit, accuracy, evasion, whatever. You don't have to go for max, but I just did because I got the opportunity. Just go for +3 in the crit and you're good, right? Ramos Grid does not matter. He's there to spam sleep. He does have Troublemaker 1 as lucky skill. That does matter, so be sure to try and roll for that. Or, of course, if you know, maybe can invest in the grid or something, maybe, you know, Pinpoint Entry could be good, though that still does not guarantee the land on Sleep Powder, so keep that in mind. And then Roxanne's grid also doesn't matter. She was literally just here for a 3rd unit, pretty much. That's it. Literally it. And also a little bit of gauge help for Blue, you know, building speed. That's, again, literally it. The setup here, next one from Moltres, we got Winona, Cyrus, and Leaf. Leaf's grid didn't end up even mattering at all. Didn't have to use any potions past 2 uses, so 1 out of 5 Leaf could pretty much copy the setup. I went ahead and found it fine to be able to use Cyrus's grid expansion because the Sinnoh Villain arc is rerunning in about a week, so you will be able to get his power boost during the Legendary Gauntlet season, so being able to use First Aid 4 there is nice. Otherwise, you can still build for, like, maybe Catastrophe or Refreshing Rain would be good for consistent healing, right? Because Winona does apply that rain. But otherwise, just picking up Hydro Pump Ramming Speed, Critical Focus 2, you're good, right? Mostly just use Leaf's Sync move for the defensive stats, speed buffs, special attack buffs, all that stuff, and then use Winona's Sync move at the appropriate time to be able to set rain on the next bar for Moltres, because if Moltres is in Sun, it will do a hell of a lot of damage, debuffs, burns. You won't really tend to live, at least not with this setup, which you can, I guess you can with Aggravation, but point being, just, you know, set up rain where applicable, right? And other than that, with Winona, Shower Sync again for setting that other bit of rain, because this gives her 3 sets of rain, which is good. And Air/Aggravation for the flinches, very, very clutch for making sure Moltres can't move at occasion, right? So, again, minimalist grid here. I don't think there's too much you can actually do with Winona's grid to improve her, frankly, but hey, maybe Refreshing Rain. That's all I can really think of. Whatever. Anyway, next setup for Latios, we got Sycamore, Brycen, and Maylene. Maylene was here to buff the crit for Sycamore, as well as buff his attack, so his Horn Leeches would do damage. Sycamore's so good, his healing is crazy. He can probably solo Latios, I actually haven't checked. I don't know. But his healing is crazy with Horn Leech. And his damage with Moonblast is good because it is super effective against Latios from the 2nd and 3rd bars, right? So being able to use that is good. And again, it's supposed to just Sycamore healing. Brycen was here for Haze, which gets rid of all of Latios' debuffs. Maylene's able to debuff Latios' defense, and if you do use Moonblast with Sycamore, you maybe want to build for Moonblast on a roll, and you can debuff Latios' special attack, and that will make Fluid Fortification even less activated, so you don't have to rely as much on Haze for the debuff resetting. But again, the Haze is good for getting rid of Latios' evasion. That's another good thing about it. You don't have to really worry about that. And again, Maylene's here for defense debuffing, crit buffing, attack buffing, and Sycamore is your main damage dealer and tank. You'll see it in the battle. And then Hop, Torchic, and Koga. Hop is here for physical tanking plus DPS with Behemoth Bash. Kind of a potion check, I would say, just because Hop did fine here, but frankly, he could use... I'm pretty sure I did end up using Hop's Sync move because mine is EX, but if you don't, probably just use Koga's. But it's pretty tough, frankly. Like, this setup I would not recommend unless you have an EX Koga, or at least have invested in all of these units as grids, maybe. Like, I don't know. The setup was not that great. It was not that kind to me. You can probably find a better usage with, like, someone like Duroc or something. They would probably help you out quite a bit more. Honestly, be a lot easier if you do have Duroc with, like, 2 or 3 out of 5. Doesn't have to be EX. Just replace Koga with that, and it probably works out a little bit better. But yeah, not much else to say here. Hop for healing and damage with Behemoth Bash and defense buffs. Main character Torchic to max out Koga's stats, and then Koga can do evasion cheese with his speed, X-Speed all slippery sidekicks, as well as his turn move buffing his own evasion. It was clutch. Next setup is probably the least free-to-play setup, which was for Moltres. God, I hated this. This took me literally 2 hours to get done, so I don't really recommend doing it without Gordy or Kiawe's EX, or maybe NPR on Sandstorm with Bertha, but this can be done with a 1 out of 5 Bertha, no grid, right? Gordy does need full investment. Well, not full investment, just a 3 out of 5 maxed grid, I guess, right? He does not need plus 10 energy, but getting the cakewalk, the trip up on Rock Tomb, and the inertia is pretty vital because it was a pretty tight window on how I could get rid of the second bar without having to worry about the sun being set by it. So keep that in mind. And then Kiawe, I really just, you need the potion, man. This is theoretically doable at like 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 if you get the master healers, but without that, the potion check becomes a lot harder because you've only got 1 potion to work off of. So ways to make it easier: EX Kiawe and use support EX Gordy for more damage, or get multiple dupes in your Bertha and get Sandstorm NPR. Or all of those, right? Any mix of those would help out quite a bit for this setup. And Gordy did not have a lucky skill. Bertha had a useless one, and Kiawe, I think, did actually have Vigilance. Again, whatever. You'll see the lucky skills in the video itself. This setup, this is where I started getting lazy. I just ended up using Elissa for a good, effective damage dealer. Grimsley was here to steal the debuffs with Snatch. He was going to be my main form of damage as well, but turns out the team is very slow unless... I wanted to use Hilda over Elissa because I felt she had more potions. It was a little bit more helpful, but Elissa just ended up being better because she was actually faster. Gauge was an issue with this team before, so Elissa and Grimsley being as fast as they are does help. BP Morty, buffing defenses, aggravation spam, that's it. And potions, of course, as well, right? More potions you get, the better. Again, Elissa is here for damage. The 6-star EX, I want to say didn't matter, but of course, obviously, the run will be far different if you choose to not sync, if you choose to, obviously, not have a sync move that hits the sides as well as the target, hitting all enemies. So you do have to kind of make your choice on if you're going to be attacking the sides with Elissa's sync move or if you're going to be attacking the Latias. I would probably just, try and focus on the sides at the beginning and then focus on Latias if you don't have an EX Elissa, right? Or, of course, you can just EX her. Again, this is mostly meant to be free to play, but I can't really un-EX my units. Otherwise, I would. Anyway, next setup for Bulu was with Silver, Dawn, and Lyra. My Lyra is EX, but all of these characters for me are EX, but I didn't end up using any of their sync moves besides Silver's, whose does not matter because, again, he's a striker. So the AoE sync move did not matter. I don't know why the grid's built like this. This was my grid for Silver. Ramming Speed, Fast Track, Inertia, Solar Flare. Basically maxing out Silver's nuke and doing his good DPS with him. Silver being able to benefit off of having Sun and also being able to use grassy terrain to make Solar Beam do more damage was very, very useful. And also it helped him with healing. Dawn having her training move was very nice as well for her full healing and defense buffs. I don't really have to say much. She also did some pretty decent damage with Seed Bomb. And then Lyra was here. She had First Aid 4, Team Toughen Up. She was mostly here to buff Silver stats. That was pretty much it. You'll see how the battle works. If you do have Lyra with dupes, obviously giving her, I don't know, probably Solar Eyes would be very good. Support EX on top of that as well would be nice. Critical Squad, I guess, on Dire Hit All Plus could be decent. I don't know. I really see too many ways to make the setup for Lyra a little bit better. Getting NPR on Dawn's training move would make it a lot easier. It wasn't a hard setup anyway. I mean, maybe a little bit reset heavy, but not heavy actually, but just a few resets you'll get it. Just mostly follow what I do. And then the final setup was with Kahili, Falconer, and Agatha. This one was pretty bad because I can't sleep chain for shit. They're so inconsistent, man. Okay, that's not my fault. Basically, build Agatha's grid just to have the accuracy on Hypnosis to where it'll never miss. You can alternatively give her Troublemaker 1 and not worry about it, but this is free here, so yeah. I accidentally did not remove Falconer's grid, but the only thing that really matters here is aggravation on Air Slash. That was pretty vital. But of course, if you are better at sleep chaining, then you can just use a blank grid Falconer if you want to. And then Kahili just built for Haymaker, that's it. If you want to make her grid better, just give her more sync nodes to power up her sync move and maybe give her defense crush on Peck. That's all you need, really. This setup is extremely easy. It's very straightforward at the very least, so yeah. That's all 10 teams for the Legendary Gauntlet. They may not be in the order of which I showed them on the tabs here, but whatever. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I will be trying to help out. I know this was kind of rushed and not really explained too well, but I wanted to help out players. Oops. I'll get to see my background, I guess. Yeah, sure, whatever. Point is, yeah, I tried my best here, or at least a little bit. So hope you enjoy the teams. Hope it helps out. Some players get the rewards they need, and of course all all characters, sync pairs, whatever, can be substituted. Grids can be substituted, lucky skills can be substituted, all that stuff. This is relatively cheap, so if you've got better alternatives, be sure to make use of them just so you can get those 10 wins, get all the good rewards, and that's the point. So, yeah. I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoy the battles. Good luck on your Gauntlet battles, and yeah, see you all later.
You guys are the best.
Looking good. Right on target.
one can stop me. always do. I never miss a chance. Watch this. I've got this. I never miss a chance. Watch this.
lives matter.
Here we go! Let's do this! Watch this. Watch this. You're back into it.